Hey ladies, it's Mocha Mommy here. I just decided to do a quick live. I just uploaded my urban garden video to give you ladies an update. Hold on one second. To give you ladies an update about what's going on with my garden in my yard. So that upload is available. And right now, I'm just going to give you a couple of tips for those of you who maybe have smaller spaces that you are trying to urban garden. A lot more people are trying to just become more self-sufficient these days, eat a little bit healthier. So I've got my tea here with me, and I'm just going to go over a couple of helpful items. So what I have here is just some examples of like non-permanent fixtures, like raised up garden beds. You can purchase these pre-made at places like Tractor Supply Company, which is where I tend to go. I just feel that they have better quality products for better prices, more durable products for better prices. But also, if you're like my spouse and you're super handy, you can build these. So the first is on the picture on the left, that's a tiered garden bed. That's fantastic for those of you who want to grow your own leafy greens. Like you may put some of the shorter ones on the bottom, things like spinach go on the bottom. Then in the middle, maybe your more, or on the bottom, you may want to put like your more fragile lettuce, like your arugula family of lettuce. In the middle, that's where you would kind of put things like your parsley or other kind of leafy greens that don't grow up too high, maybe things like butter lettuce or green leaf. And then on the top tier is where you would put things like romaine, parsley, and other brands of parsley that can grow a little bit taller. The joy of those type of plants, even maybe sometimes spring onion, is that when you cut them down, they just grow back better and fuller. Napa cabbage, that's another one you can plant in these type of tiered gardens bed. They don't take up as much space, but those plants that are cut and grow are really, really great in these tiered garden beds. The one on the right, that's a raised garden bed. That's perfect for if you really can't dig or destroy any of the soil because you're a renter, or just maybe you have a covered patio because you're an apartment. Raised garden beds are really, really great because you can get pretty high yield because you can fill it with really, really great soil and soil augments that are just really perfect for things like retaining water, adding extra fertilizer, and just raised garden beds are such a fantastic idea for those of you who just want kind of high yield and small space. This is another example of like container gardening. Container gardening was you use a variety of flower pots, pails, and things that have just like good drainage, where you can put potting soil, raised garden bed soil, and kind of grow vegetables that way. Your cut and grows are fantastic in container gardens. Strawberries, I hear grow pretty decent, but I just know that strawberry, I guess maybe the variety that I have kind of spreads out, so it made it kind of difficult. These are also great for herbs. If you ladies have one of those indoor gardens, like those aero gardens, and then you want to transfer them to the outside for the summer, that's perfect for those. I did an aero garden this year, and I should have included a slide of aero gardens. But these are really, really fantastic for other people who want to urban garden. It's great for herbs. And some of the bigger containers you can use to grow tomatoes, cucumbers. And there's a lot of really great resources out there that teach you to container garden, if that's something you want to do to kind of augment your diet. For those of you who want to do juicing and smoothies, this is such a great option to grow peppers, tomatoes, cucumbers, a lot of your lettuces and leafy greens that you want to juice. So this is a really great idea. So here are some of the things that I like to do to augment my soil. Number one, things like blood meal, bone meal, feather meal. Those are really, really great to add to your soil and your potting mixes, simply because you don't really have to worry too much about over fertilizing. And you don't have to worry too much about chemical fertilizers. So these things, they take a while to break down. So because I have raised garden beds, like when those garden beds are at rest, that's when I throw the blood meal down. And then also right before I seed, right before the big thaw, I'll throw it down. And that way I don't have to really worry about fertilizing as the summer goes on or when my plants are fruiting and flowering. So also these organic herb spikes, those work pretty well when I'm trying to grow some herbs and things like that, particularly my parsley, because I use and grow a lot of it. And so parsley is just one of those things that I absolutely love. And these garden spikes have worked pretty well. Now, this is one thing I will say. I know that things like blood meal, feather meal, bone meal, fish emulsion, some people are like, well, that's not vegan. That's not vegan. Okay, whatever. Those are products that come from the byproduct of animal and meat processing. And it's sort of like recycling. So I think of it as earth friendly, in my opinion. Other people may not think that, but I absolutely love to use those augments. So I know some people don't consider it woke, but listen, if you're getting high yields on your cucumbers, that's from blood meal. To me, that's way more woke than buying cucumbers from the grocery store where the people who grew and harvested those cucumbers were not treated humanely. So, you can just mind your cucumber crunching business for all I care. And because I'm going to continue to use things like blood meal, bone meal, feather meal, and fish emulsion to fertilize my soil, because it lasts long. It takes a while to break down, so you don't have to worry about over fertilizing. So if you're kind of pressed for time, I feel like these are some of your best options. Gardening spikes, because again, it takes them a while to break down. Therefore, you don't have to worry about over fertilizing, is another really great option. So my favorite brand of products to use is the Burpee Organics brand. I like their seeds. I like their soil, their potting soil, their raised garden bed mix. I feel that it's really great at helping to retain water. So maybe if you forget, or if you're like me, I'm in zone 9, which is semi-arid. So Southern California, Central Texas, where I get a lot of arid conditions that the soil can sometimes get depleted of water really easily. That's my favorite brand. And I also find that it's pretty affordable. It's not full of chemicals like certain brands like Miracle Grow. It's just made with natural things like humus manure, coconut core, things like that. It's natural products. And their seeds usually give me good yield. So I showed you a picture of my butterfly garden. These are some of the plants that I added. I added a couple of extra cosmos and some bachelor button, just because I know that monarch butterflies, I've had them 2 years in a row come visit me. No, 3 years in a row, come and visit me and lay their eggs and have their caterpillars there. So I'm going to need to have something to continue to attract those pollinators. Especially, they're great when you're growing peppers. You want to attract pollinators. And also, too, you want to have something for their caterpillars to eat, because if not, they end up eating your produce. Here you thought you was going to have some lettuce. And I remember one year they really tore up my fennel and my dill. My carrot greens, that's another one. They really like the fronds of those plants. So, and they can eat like 2.5 times their body weight a day. So, and because monarch butterflies are protected species, you can't put pesticides to get rid of them. So, that's just one of the rules here in Central Texas. So, you just want to make sure that they have something to eat, for them and their caterpillars. So I tend to this year I am starting a butterfly garden. So Tractor Supply, that's the store that I like to buy things from, because I feel like they have a great channel. They have a great YouTube channel, as does the Burpee Seed Company. They have a great YouTube channel, and they also have really fair prices, I think, on things that can help you with your garden, even if you're urban gardening. I do not compost. The city does. And I think that composting is probably one of your best bets. If you have a city that composts, definitely participate. And then the city's compost is really, really, really competitively priced. The problem is transporting it. You know what I mean? They don't offer it in bags or things like that. And composting, to me, it attracts a lot of bugs. Because I'm in an urban area, it attracts too many bugs. So even in a compost container, I just ended up with a lot of just maggots and flies, not tons. Even when I added the augments, like the chicken manure accelerators and things like that, unfortunately, composting has not worked out for me as of yet. Now, when I juice, I have started putting it on a tarp, the remnants and the fibers on a tarp, letting it dry in the sun, and then mixing that in. That's the closest I've gotten to composting. And I've done that in my cucumber bins. And I showed my cucumbers on my other video. So I do love the idea of composting, but I just think that as aggressive as Texas flies are in this urban area, I have not had a lot of luck with it. So again, like Burpee is my favorite brand of seeds. And I love when I find them at the Tractor Supply. I love their YouTube channel because their YouTube channel has a lot of helpful hints. Right now, they are doing a lot of things when it comes to first thaw, right? So a lot of parts of the country are right now, they've already had their first thaw, and people are starting seedlings, or people are transferring seedlings, and their YouTube channel is pretty timely when it comes time to talk to people in most parts of the country. Now, because I'm in zone 9, we can start a lot earlier because we have our first thaw starting around early March, where some people are just now starting to get their first thaw. And also, too, we can grow well into November, December for winter gardening. So that's when I would plant like a lot of my more cruciferous vegetables, like my cabbages, my potatoes, onions, and herbs like cilantro that need that cooler 60-degree weather that we get here in zone 9. So I really love it. That is a really good hint. I'm going to put that here. I did not know that you can buy seeds with food stamps. That's a really great, because sometimes seeds are like $2 and you can get a pretty big yield from like a set of cucumbers or lettuce. So another really helpful blog and online community through Instagram, I've left it in the description box of this video, is Black Girls with Gardens. So this is a really, really good website about container garden, houseplants, growing herbs, growing vegetable gardens. Also, it's a not-for-profit that you can support that helps other Black women and Black girls and Black children learn to garden, to become more self-sufficient, to become more healthy when it comes to growing their own food. So definitely check out that online community, because I think it's really, really important that we build a sense of community in growing vegetables. So eating healthier. That crazy cat. So anyway, I'm going to get off here and just make sure that I leave in the description box some really helpful information, websites, and other YouTube channels that you ladies can check out if you want to start your own urban garden, because every little bit helps. Every little bit helps. Every little bit of spinach you can grow, every little bit of even just flowers to boost your mood, especially the cut and grow flowers. I really, really love those. They really do boost our mood. And, just making little flower arrangements with my youngest daughter, that was a lot of fun last year. And then just also making sure that we're getting some affordable, reliable brands so that we can keep gardening and stay motivated. If you're handy building a lot of these things yourselves, and you'll be surprised how many Black women here have containers you can get from the dollar store, or recycling jugs, or things like that you can use to start your own container gardening. And then also things you can do to make your container garden really aesthetically pleasing. So I just really think that we should just all learn to do some more urban gardening. And because if you start, let me tell you, you're going to really love it. And it's such a great, relaxing hobby. It's great for your mental health. And I think that also it's great for the environment, and it's just great for your own personal health as well. So continue, ladies, to ask questions and to continue to even join gardening groups, join a community garden. I know that sometimes people have so many great gardens, they can even donate to their local food bank. So that's a really great thing too that we can do to help our community. So continue to ask questions about gardening, and I'll continue to post things about gardening and keep you updated with my own garden. This is Mocha Mommy, and I'll see you in the next video.